Hello and welcome to the fourth video in this lesson, groups module inside Decyphor. We're going to dive into this real quick and we're going to look at discussions in the forums. And so I've gone into the main group here for knowledge base, and inside knowledge base it gives us the ability to create discussions for the group as a whole. I've already done so for the main modules, activity members, groups, courses, forums, and then use cases. There are some more that need to be added into here, like for instance notifications. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a discussion in here. I'm going to title this one Notifications. Discuss anything related to the management and or implementation of notifications. Notifications within your app. I'm going to go ahead and click submit. And there we have notifications. If I want to edit it, I can select notifications, upper right hand corner, and click edit. So now I'm going to add a tag, notifications, as the tag. Click next. That will go ahead and apply the tag. I can click submit. It's going to give you a short error here that says, oh, it can't be empty. And you look at it and you say, well, there's content here. Just click a space and then backspace and submit. It just wants you to interact with the content there. So now I've created that discussion, and we can see notifications as shown up there. So we have activity, members, groups, courses, forums, notifications. All right. We're inside of a discussion, so we don't necessarily need to list discussions in here. But that's how you quickly create a discussion inside of a group forum. Now let's go back to the main one. Let's go into a subgroup, okay? In this subgroup, we can see we've got beginners, professionals, and elitists. So if I go into elitists, then from here, I can create a new discussion. Now we can see that the discussions inside elitist group are different than the discussions inside the main knowledge base, because this is a group within a group. Now we could even do a group within a group within a group if we wanted to, create another subgroup inside this subgroup and keep going in perpetuity. It's all designed for you to be able to create whatever user experience and workflows you want. But for all intents and purposes, we're just going to go ahead and create a new discussion inside elitists. And maybe this discussion title is branding. Okay? Discuss all things related to branding, comma, best practices, etc. Best practices and requirements from Apple and Google, period. So our tag here would be branding. Click next. That applies the tag, and I'm going to go ahead and click submit. So now I've got a discussion for branding inside of this group, so I will be able to see that inside of the feed for this group, branding and the group elitists. If I go back to the main group, knowledge base, and go into the feed, you can see that I created the discussion for knowledge base for notifications, right? But it does not show you in each one of these feeds that activity unless you come back and you're a member of all those groups and you go to the main activity. Now your main activity feed will show you what's going on in each one of the groups and subgroups of those groups, okay? That's a discussion management inside groups, pretty straightforward. It will also create forums. So if you go to your forums and list them, any forum that you're a part of, you'll see here in your forums list. So then you can go straight into the forum and then start the discussion accordingly, create a discussion, or go into the individual discussion accordingly. But for all intents and purposes here, let's go back in, let's say, the knowledge base main forum. There we've got the knowledge base pulled up. If we go into elitists, there's that image. Took a second to load. Go to professionals, there's the image. Beginners, there's the image. Great. So we're all caught up on the discussions inside of all these forums, and each individual group has their own forum because that's what we created in the group creation process. And so it's all separated by group, subgroup, and even subgroup of a subgroup. So you can go into perpetuity, into infinity on how deep you want to go inside those groups, but that's completely up to you. And so for instance, if I wanted to say, give a secret group for elitists to access. So I'm in knowledge base. I have a subgroup here. I can go into elitists, and you can see that there's no option for a subgroup, right? Well, if I just did another group here and I said, created one that was, so for instance, let's just use one that's already available. So let's go into a subgroup, and I've got professionals. Say I want to put professionals inside of Elitis. I come into the professionals group, go to manage, and go to details. I'm sorry, not details, settings. And then I can select my group parent and select which one I want it to be. And now I can choose Elitis as my group parent, and that would put this group inside of Elitists. I'm not going to do it because I don't want that to be the case. I'm not going to click save, but if I did, it would show that it's a subgroup of Elitists, so you can go subgroups within subgroups. All right, guys, that's it for this video. We're going to move on to the next lesson, and that's it for groups management on a grand overview scale. You should have a good idea of how groups function within the network, and if you have any questions, let us know by going to the settings. And at the bottom of the settings, you can send feedback or report a bug, and we'll get back in contact with you as soon as possible. All right, guys, on to the next lesson.